Lots of little flies. Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Well, we're having a bit of a sort out and a bit of maintenance, as we all have to do in our collections. We all have to maintain our collections, and yeah, this is what we're doing. So what we're doing up here at the moment, we're literally just watering the moss, filling up a few water bowls, and we've got a few spiders out and about. We've got other stuff that's got sacks at the moment, so we have to be a little bit careful about what we do and where we go. And like down here, these girls here, these are versicolors in here. This is the versicolor that we took the sack from recently, and you'll remember it was no good. Absolutely no good. So she is now being fed up at the moment, and you can see she's still maintaining this web down here. She comes out and about, she's looking for food at the minute. And then we've got these ones here and this one here. They're both on egg sacs, so we have to be very, very careful about that. And as you can see, we keep our information up to date, so we know at a glance what we got. And I've gone on to this other method now where I can use just a little piece of masking tape. This is what I tend to use a lot of now. So we have our main labels here, which we use on our Brother label machine. And then when it's other information that comes and goes, I use just a little piece of masking tape. And I just scribble on there whatever the information might be, stick it up, and then when it's done, it just tears off. And you don't have to worry about cleaning the glass, it comes off nice and clean. So we don't have to worry about it. But what it does do is it means as I'm going around, at a quick glance, I can see I've got an egg sac in here, I've got an egg sac in this one. This one had an egg sac. So now we know this one's finished with. So we've got our pairing time here and our egg sac. These can come off now. So we can literally just tear them off like that. You see? They come off nice and clean. We ain't got to worry about it. We can just throw them away. So we now know that this female is all ready to go. So at a glance, when we're going through the room, if we're thinking about pairing our spiders, we can look at this and we see, wow, there is no information. What that tells me, the fact that there's no information, is that this female is not ready to breed. So should I have, which I have, I've got a male versicolor. I've got two of them actually. They're here in the room. I know that when I'm coming around to pairing my spiders, there's no point looking at this girl yet, because what we're waiting for is that little piece of label on there that says she's molted. And when we get that molted label, I then now know that I can look at that, check the date, and if we're within 6 to 8 weeks of her molting, I know she's ready for a male. And then we will pair them, and then we put the one up that says it was paired and on the date that it was paired. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, a little bit later on, we get another label out and it says we got an egg sac. So I can look at that, and this one here, she had dropped her egg sac on the 23rd of the 2nd, 23. And you can see there that she was paired on the 18th of the 1st. So roughly like a month or so, and then she dropped her egg sac. Now, we know from the 23rd, we're looking at counting anywhere between 30 and 40 days. You know, we've seen with different ones now that 30 days is really quite early. So I've been leaving my egg sacs longer and trying to give them that little bit extra time. So it does make a difference, because it means that when we pull it, the more they are in nymph stage, the easier it is for us to look after them. We don't have to worry quite so much. It just takes a little bit of pressure off, really. Now, another interesting thing, as I was going through and I've been watering these ones up here, I noticed in this one up here, this is our Sabar Blue, and there's lots of little phorid flies in here. Lots and lots of little phorid flies. And they are an absolute bane. They're a real nuisance. And they probably come in, quite possibly, in a bit of soil. And at first, because of the amount of them that we were getting in there, I thought, oh no, maybe, you know, I hope the spider hasn't died. And this is the reason we got all the little flies. But no, she's fine. She's good. We've just seen her, as I sprayed, her feet came out. So she was like, whoa, what's going on? Is it raining? She'd come out to have a look. So we know she's still alive. So that then points us to think that the flies aren't in there for anything that's bad. They're in there because they were probably eggs that's hatched out in the soil. And with the spike in the humidity there, it's actually spurred them on. It's nice and warm in here as well, and it's done that sort of thing. So it can, in actual fact, give a different reason. But when we see them, we have to ask the question, why are they there? Well, what else we got going on then? We got lots of things. You'll also notice down on the bottom shelf here, there's lots of dirty glass. I've not got around to cleaning my glass yet. Now, many of these spiders down here are, I mean, look at this. This is the perfect thing that says we've got a healthy spider in there and all is well. When we got clean glass like this, and we haven't seen our spider for a little while, we have to wonder where it is. What's it doing? Is it molting? Has it dropped an egg sac? You know, we don't know. So we need to keep an eye on these things. So poo on the glass is like the detective story. That's telling us what's going on. Mind that heater, my love. How long have you been working in this room? The heat is always there. It never moves. Oh my God. Right, so what else we got going on? This is an interesting one. Look at this one here. Unfortunately, she's not out. She's hidden herself away. This actually looked really nice about a week or so ago. You can see she's dug it all out.
Can you open the glass?
We can open the glass because she's gone away. Now, there we go. Now you can see here, she's dug this out and she's made like a burrow down in here. And she's webbing the top up. And if you look at the back, that's where our actual home is, behind there. You can zoom in on that, right there. We might even be able to get her to poke her feet out. We can give it a try. Give it a little go. She would probably like a bigger roach, but we've got a little one here. I can hear her. She comes. There she is. That's our female sapphire blue, and she is heavily gravid at the moment. So we're looking and we're waiting for her to drop a sack. Now, interestingly enough, she's done very little work in that little hole that she's hiding in at the moment. As you can see there, she's grabbed her roach. She's quite happy. But what she has done is she's dug all of this out down here. And this soil is really quite moist. So there's much higher humidity down here than what there is back in where she is sitting at the moment. And this is something that quite often happens just prior to a female actually producing a sack. She will redecorate and change things around. And these are, again, signs that we're looking for, things that we want to see. And as you can see, she's made an absolute mess of the glass as well. She is one filthy, filthy so-and-so. So we're going to put that close back there. There you go. She's just going down there. She's still sitting out there. Look at that. Nice and comfortable. Now then, as we're talking about egg sacs, how about this girl up here? Look at the size of the booty on that. She is huge. She is absolutely massive. Now this is one of our Metallicas, and she's more than ready to drop. She was paired some 7 months ago, so we're a little bit dumbfounded as to why she won't drop. All of our others dropped earlier, but this one she's holding on. But her backside is huge. Her abdomen, absolutely massive. You can see it's to a point there, it looks like it's about to go pop. So we're just waiting now, and hopefully she'll drop. Sometimes they hold on. And you can see this one over here, on this side. Come round here. You can get up on your stool now. You'll get a nice look of her then. Now you can see the difference in the way they hold themselves. This pokey's, she had her egg sac some time ago, so we're actually fattening her up now. We're starting to get a little bit of weight on her. So they're all looking good. Now this is another interesting behaviour that we see from time to time. If we come directly down, this is a female hattie, and I don't know if she'll allow us to open the door. She might allow us just to open the door without tearing off. So what we do it very, very gently. Now she was paired only a matter of a few weeks ago. There you go, look at that, she's nice and calm, nice and gentle. Trying to not block the light, because you just take away the blue. Look at that, she is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What we'll do is we'll find her a roach. We'll see if she'll take a roach. We'll try her on a nice little male roach. And we'll see whether she's hungry. Notice we don't go straight in. Oh, he actually, I'll let him go then. Look at that, she's not 100% hungry. She's not quite twigged what's going on. Is this going to be a lazy takedown? So this girl was actually paired about 2 weeks ago. And as you can see, she's already starting to beef up a little bit. Her abdomen's quite large. So she's probably really in the process of producing eggs at the moment. And she's filling up. And this is one of the things that we've found with many of our female spiders. That once they've been paired and they're producing eggs, they seem to hunt out for the heat. And with our room, we have our heater in the middle of the room, and quite often they will sit out, and they're gaining extra heat, because out here it's slightly warmer than behind that piece of bark. So they're sitting out and they're gaining that extra heat. And we notice this with many of the spiders that are actually producing eggs. So this is a really interesting point, especially when it comes down to when we look at how spiders are seen and how people say we should keep them. So she's not really keen on that. She's not particularly bothered. That's a male roach, so he won't do no harm. So we'll leave him in there. He'll be fine. She'll probably pick him up tonight. But when we was getting back to what we were saying about the heat, many times we'll see on the forums and things, people turn around and say, oh, if you're comfortable, your spider is comfortable and it can do with the heat. This really is an old wives' tale, and it's not a very good thing to follow at all. Now, we've shown in our room here, we're sitting at the moment, we've had the door open, it's 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit in here, and it's 65% humidity in this room. And it's quite, it's sort of quite warm. Now, what we are noticing though, is spiders like our female hattie here, they are actually searching for extra heat. They want more heat. So we're already just under 80 degrees and she's looking for more heat. You know, this is all part of how they're producing their eggs and doing all of their stuff. So it's very, very important that we, you know, we keep an eye on these things and we understand the true formula that's going on. So if this was one of them, oh, if you're comfortable in a t-shirt type scenario, chances are it's going to be down at 70 degrees. It's going to be really, really cool for this spider. So it suggests that we want more heat when we're breeding. We're going to close that up nice and gently. You notice how they're pretty calm, you see? They're just sitting around. She's in no rush. She doesn't feel threatened by anything. Our pokies, you know, these Metallicas, they're all sitting out. This is daytime. So what we're going to do now is we're going to close these ones up because we've finished watering these. And this is what we do here. We open up all the doors that we're going to service, and then we go back through and we close them up as we need to do. You notice these spiders haven't come out to do anything. They're not going anywhere. They're perfectly fine. Now then, so that's like on our wall, and that's what we do here. And then over here on the rack, this is an absolute nightmare, if you like, of everything that's going on in the room. So we have got all sorts of things all tucked away, sitting in here. This is an interesting spider. This is a really, really pretty spider. And this one has recently molted out. So we can see this. So if I get that, I'll put that one there. This one has recently molted out. Looking absolutely beautiful. You see that? Get that round there like that. Get some nice light. Look at that. She is wonderful. Really, really pretty spider. So we got the molt for this one. So now we can look at later on, if we're lucky enough and we can find a male, we can look at getting her paired up. Males for these smithies are very, very difficult to come by. So they really are a bit of a problem, a bit of a pain. What else we got going on up here? This is an interesting one. This is our black fang. Now this is one that we picked up at the show, and we've actually kept it in the tub that we got it from. And the reason we've done that is because it's molted out in there, and we can see it there. And this one has in fact molted out to be a male. So we've got our female down in our enclosure, and we've now got a male. So hopefully this is going to be a little project that will go. So what we'll do is we'll feed him, we'll give him a red runner, and we'll give her a feed as well. And then we can then dry them and put them together. So that's another little project that's in the making. Another one that's going to be happening very, very soon. These are all males up here. So we've got all different males up here. We've got Balfouri males here. There's OBT male, Thai golden fringe. We've got an Amelia male, Bumba horrida male, a tiger rump male, Pentalorus. What else we got? We've got a GBB male, curly hair males. This isn't in fact a smithy male. This was sold to us as a smithy male, and it is in fact a bohemi. So, you know, people get confused. A little bit frustrating, but, you know, it's part of the hobby. We all get caught out from time to time, and there's no guarantee. These up here, these are all Balfouris. They're all Balfouris up there. More Balfouris here. Down in the boxes here, we've got others here that are sitting up. This is an interesting one here. Now, this is a female Somani, or the striped knee tarantula, and she's quite an old girl. You can tell a little bit by her colouring and what have you. And she's got a lovely big fat abdomen there. Yep, yep. Now we got tiny, tiny slings of these, so it's nice when we got tiny slings and we get to see an adult in all in its glory. We can see what's going on. Now the interesting thing with these is these used to be one of the most commonest spiders in the hobby. They were everywhere, and they still are relatively common. But one of the problems we find is picking up males. And for a spider that was so common in the hobby, we just don't see the males. We're lucky at the moment. We have one that we picked up at the last show. This is a subadult male. So he's got another molt to go. He's not mature yet, but he's got another molt to go. And we've got three adult Somani females. So he's going to be a busy boy, provided he survives the first one. So we're going to have to do our very, very best to ensure that he gets an easy run of it. And we make sure our females are in prime condition. So we've got him there. So that's another project in the making. Now the interesting thing is you may ask, why for a spider that is so common, why are we having trouble getting males? And that is because the majority of the striped knees, the Somanis, the majority of them that come into the hobby are wild caught females. And they literally catch up all the females. So it may be a point of where the time of year where they go out and collect these spiders, maybe the females are more prominent. The males you're not seeing so much of. So we don't get so many males come through the hobby. So it's very important for a spider that's really common like this, that we still try and maintain that we breed enough of our own. So we've got captive bred spiders, which will take out some of the heat of collecting these wild ones. So it's a very, very important thing. Just because something's very common doesn't make it any less valuable than something that's particularly rare, for argument's sake. Now, what else we got? We can have a little recap, actually. This is our female imperator. As you can see there, she's got some nice size there down the side there. You can see where she's quite spread, where the plates are actually spreading out. So we've still yet to try and pair these. We've got to try and get them together, which is something we're going to do very, very soon. And hopefully we can get to video it and see some decent action. So they are very, very cool. They're looking really, really nice. So we've got many, many things on the go. Now, one of the things we get asked about is how long does it take to look after all this stuff? Now, where do we start? Yes, it can take a long time, but then by the same token, it can also be done very, very quickly. So when we look at the room as a whole, we can do this wall and this wall. We can do the whole lot, everything, within a couple of hours. Literally, probably 2 hours, and we can pretty much get rid of everything. It then takes around about 2 hours or so to actually do just this rack. So it's more time consuming to do all of these little tiny boxes, and we have to go through them all, give them all fresh water and fresh food and what have you, and check them. You know, it's not just a case of literally just filling a water bowl up, throwing a roach in. We need to have a look at our spider and make sure that there's nothing going on with it that's, you know, detrimental or anything like that. We need to keep an eye on it. So it's really, really important that we follow through with these things. Yeah, and then all up there, they're all slings and things up on the wall there, and spiders that we're holding on for future projects, things that we're growing on. So they all need to be looked after. Many, many things. And you'll see as you watch the videos through the thing, you'll see how the shelves change, how we move from one thing to another, depending on what's going on. And it also depends on how things are growing. So with argument's sake, with these things up here, we've got spiders and things that we're growing on. Once they get to a point where they're going to move on to go into their own breeding projects themselves, then they get taken off of this wall. They might go onto this wall. They might go into our second room, where we also have about the same amount of spiders. It's crazy, crazy. So we have lots and lots of things going on, but there is always loads and loads of projects. So it's always exciting, always things to do. We're going to get the this very, very dangerous heater here. It's got a nasty habit of biting camera lady on a regular basis. So we'll get that out of the way. Now this is a cool one. If we come over here and we can have a look, this is our Linothelli phalanx in here. We can't really see her because she's going to be down deep in all this webbing. But you'll notice there that she's fully webbed up, and we paired her. Now, we got the male. The male phalanx came from Scott at Scott's Inverts, and he was lucky enough that his phalanx actually matured into a male. Unlucky for Scott, lucky for us. Now, originally, the male went to Luke at Spar Spiders, another good friend of ours, and he paired it with his female. And we're hoping now that they're going to be a sack come off from them. And then to sort of like hedge our bets as well, he then passed it on to us, and we've had a successful pairing as well. So we're now going to wait and see whether she drops one. So we've got two options, or rather Scott's got two options as to how his male, you know, worked out. And hopefully, all being well, we will we'll have some good stuff to show in the future. Right. Well, I think that's enough talking, because while I'm standing here talking, I'm not actually getting any work done. So I have got, as you can see, I have got lots and lots to do, We've got to now go through all of these, and you can see many of these from a distance. You can see the ones that are holding humidity, other ones that we've allowed to dry out a little bit. These are all things that, you know, get us where we need to be, because these are all breeding enclosures. Everything in here is being bred. One last thing before we go, don't know if you can see it.
You can make that fire hot.
Yeah. Right, one thing here, in this enclosure here, this is an arboreal setup that we've got an OBT in. And you can see the labels there, we've got egg sacs and everything else. All this webbing here has been produced in the last couple of days. There was no external webbing, it was all behind the bark. In the last couple of days, she's done all of this out here. This tells us that we have slings imminent. That sac is not far off from actually hatching. And she's already making the nursery for them young slings to climb around. So that's a very, very cool thing. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little glimpse into what we get up to. And hopefully we can come back and we can revisit this and we can do another one and show some of the other spiders that that we've not seen today. We never get to see them all every day. So it's a really cool thing. We've got lots and lots of work to do. We've got many, many egg sacs on the go at the moment. Quite a lot of them we've not managed to actually film the pairings because the spiders just haven't been playing ball. So it's not always easy to catch the pairing on film, but we're doing our best. We have a few coming up, but yes, lots and lots for the future. Right then, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. And I will see you soon, guys.